Welcome back to another episode of Rocstar Reacts. It's your host, Rocstar2800, the most hated, the most opinionated, the most underrated. You know the truth. Like, comment, subscribe right now to this channel if you haven't already. Become a member. Turn on your notifications, tap that bell, smash that like button, follow Smut Free TV on Instagram and TikTok. Hop in them comments. Why? Because every comment counts, and you know we got the hottest content in these internet streets. No cap. Alright, man, let's get into it right here. The No Jumper live show has been canceled. June 24th, it was supposed to happen. It got canceled. It was at the Air Raid Theater, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Los Angeles, California. Canceled. Out of there. Gone. Finito. A whole bunch of posts started popping up online from people making TikToks and little videos, reactions to actually trying to go purchase the tickets and it being canceled. Right? So news got wind. I think people got wind a little bit later, but it starts circulating. So Adam finally comes out, puts it on the table on why they canceled the No Jumper live show. So let's get into it, because there's a lot of talk around this on why the first No Jumper live show ever was canceled. So let's get into it, man. If you're tuned in right now, this is Rocstar Reacts, Smut Free TV. Let's go.
All right, so the unfortunate information that we have to bring to the table, I'm going to tell everybody the sort of timeline of events here. So a couple months ago, I say to Josh, I say, we got to do a live show. I said, I don't care if we don't make any money. We got to just do it. If we do a live show, we'll find a way. We'll be able to sell the tickets. We're going to spend any dollar that we make from the live show. We're going to invest that money into promoting into doing the live show. Into, like, you know, whether we're going to book a rapper or we're going to, whatever we're going to do. We're going to do something to, like, every last dollar that we potentially make from the show, we're going to put it back into the show. Now, rewind the clock to the day that we found out about Anne Hefe getting charged with murder. Remember, that was the day where we filmed the Instagram reel of all of us doing a little TikTok dance together.
Ant was on the way.
Ant was on the way to do that.
Wow.
He told us he was coming for it. The cops picked him up on the way to the show. Now, for those of you out there who know me, when you saw us doing an Instagram reel of us dancing to promote the live show, if you know me, you might have thought that indicates that this live show is not selling so well. Because really, you know, I probably would have preferred to not have to do a TikTok dance. At that time, and this, keep in mind, this is before Spoilerface and Munchie left the podcast, we had sold, I believe, like 30 tickets. Okay. So we do a couple of different reels.
Not quite Drake numbers.
We go out of our way to promote it on the podcast repeatedly. We're hoping that we can see a little bit of motion. It's really not moving too much.
See, I just don't understand why it's not moving, though. 5 million subscribers, and that can't translate into ticket sales at all. Something is not adding up here, Adam. Where's the marketing? Where's the real promotion? I mean, even Instagram, y'all do good. I just don't understand why this. But I guess he's trying to say that maybe Aunt Hefe going to jail made a decrease on why people didn't want to come see it no more or be there. And then you got you know, he's saying that they had to do TikTok dances and he preferred not to. Like, what is going on, man? This is nasty work. Let's go.
I announce that 607 Unk is going to be the headline, or is going to be the opener along with King Yala. Still doesn't really change things. The numbers are looking not great in terms of ticket sales. We announce that Hater World is also going to be added to opening up the podcast. At the same time, we announce that me and 4 Extra are going to be doing our first podcast back together on the last show.
That's dope.
We announced at one point that we're going to be giving away a free 1/8 of weed to everybody who goes to the live podcast. really none of this really moved the needle in any meaningful way. Like, and actually this morning I hit up Josh for the count. Where are we at? I think he said we're somewhere around like 45, and that basically the promoter didn't want to, or basically felt like we hadn't sold enough tickets to continue on with this. Now there was part of me that
I said this on Clubhouse. If you're not 50% past a certain day, they are not going to go through with it. It's not even worth their time, right? Now, if they was 50% capacity or at ticket sales 50% sold, they would have kept it going, because now you're going to get walk-ups. You're going to get, you know what I'm saying, it's guaranteed to sell at least 80%, and 20% walk-ups, right? 70%, 75%, 25% walk-ups, right? So, I mean, I knew it, but I just don't understand. Like, where's the money in the marketing? Who is the marketing? Who is helping with the marketing? Maybe you need to hire somebody to market. It's not adding up, Adam. It's not adding up.
was like, maybe today we talk about it on this podcast, and maybe that is enough to, get people in motion and like people buy more tickets or whatever. Because you are gonna sell like a bunch of tickets at the end, like like in the last week or the last like 3-4 days.
Like 70%.
You could sell a lot of tickets in that end period right there. But after having added 2 other pretty popular podcasts to it, as well as adding 4 extra, who himself is very famous and granted, like, collabed on the post, was promoting it on his story, etc. Given that we did all of that and people still just weren't buying tickets, I'm forced to just be like, okay, apparently this was not meant to be. It's kind of amazing to me that we could have, thousands of people watching the live shows on any given day, that like everywhere I go, I feel like I'm famous as shit, and people are just coming up to me everywhere we go. And that, we, on the average No Jumper show or whatever, we might have like 100,000 viewers or whatever. And that still somehow those people did not find it exciting, the idea of going to a live show. And one thing that the promoter told us, the person who was like helping us to manage this and everything, is he said, believe me, you're not alone. I guess like the market for the live podcast experience is really not great, and that they've actually had to cancel a lot of these. So I guess that made me feel a little bit of like, okay, I guess this is like kind of not too out of the ordinary at this point. But I mean, the promoter even said, because it's the same promoter who did the Back on Fig live show, and he told us, he's like, one option you have is that you could do a sale, like you could do 2 for the price of 1 or 3 for the price of 1 or whatever. At that point, I was like, okay, I think I'm okay with like coming out of pocket to do the show. I think I'm just going to cancel it. I thought that we had enough momentum to sell it. Turns out, not so much. So I got to wear that. I do know a popular narrative is going to be like, oh, well, Spody Face and Munchie left, so that's why that's why the tickets didn't sell. The tickets weren't selling before when, like, we all did those Instagram reels together. The tickets already weren't moving. So, as much as I'm a little bit let down, I thought that it was going to be a good way to sort of galvanize the community and everything. It turns out that the audience is just not really there for the live experience like the way that they were a couple of years back.
It's nasty work, man. I felt like he was excited. Like he said from the beginning, he didn't care if he lost. He didn't care if he lost money. You know what I'm saying? He didn't care. He wanted to do the live show, but it just still wasn't adding up. And it kind of was a letdown, a bummer to him, because how do I have all these viewers? Like you said, how I feel like I'm famous and it's still not translating to ticket sales. To me, it's bad marketing. And y'all think y'all know everything and got everything, but obviously it's not done right. You can't just think you got a guerrilla market. You got to put money where it ain't to pay and make it make sense. Ads. Like, y'all not even doing that. Y'all just going off the name, thinking that the name is going to get it done, when you really got to handle business. And I don't know if that was done or not. Like I said, who's marketing? Who's promoting for you? You have to put, and he's cheap. So he think he just gonna sell off the name, off the look, and it's not happening that way, Adam.
Do you feel like ultimately that is a indicative of where No Jumper overall is as a platform, or do you feel like it's just the live shows are not cracking in general for people?
I do feel like live podcasts are not as cracking as they used to be. I do feel like a lot of podcasts, like Joe Budden, that used to go on tour all the time, that they're just really like not doing it anymore. Definitely, like partially, you have to kind of attribute it to No Jumper and say, well, you know, like. But if, like, from my perspective, it's like, especially when we announced it, it felt like we had a ton of momentum. That things were going very well. That there was a lot of energy on the podcast and everything. And you know, the ticket sales really kind of told a different story.
But realistically, I mean, like 30 ticket sales prior to the point we had done that first reel is not terrible. That's like,
I think
a few
from
months out.
In the eyes of the promoter, it was pretty terrible. It was,
that
really
was
bad.
already bad at that point.
It was not good. It should have been more. You know, if we had sold like 100 and we had a month and a half to go, I think that it would probably have been a lot more realistic. I mean, there could be a lot of factors. You know, somebody just pointed out in the chat it was like a Wednesday.
It definitely is.
How much were the tickets?
You know, that's a good question. Donnie was just saying in the chat that they were like $80 or like $75. I thought they were cheaper. I thought they were like $45. That 80 does stand out to me as quite a lot.
$80?
I do feel terrible.
Gas, that's higher than this shit. You could buy a prostitute for $80.
You could,
For
yeah.
real,
You could take a gas for $80. You know?
You get a prostitute with the STD to get that keeps on giving. You feel me?
Ooh.
Souvenir.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that it definitely is disappointing. What I'm gonna do is this. Everybody that bought tickets, if you want, I'm gonna do a meet and greet. I know that's not as cool as being able to see Adam and 4Extra and everybody, but I'm gonna do a free meet and greet for y'all and all No Jumper fans. So anybody that want to pull up,
I'm sure that'll make them feel a lot better.
I mean, probably not that much, but like shit, there might be some people, in case people travel from out of town and already have plans and all that. I want to at least let the fans know that, yeah, we do give a and some of us really want to at least do something.
I don't think they want to do a meet and greet with Les One, bro. But that's funny. Let's keep it going.
For y'all, so I'm gonna drop low on y'all on
Shit, right? All you gotta do is look. This is what you do, man. You want to sell the tickets? You get $1,000, right? And one of the seats gonna have a winning ticket up in there. Whoever get that seat get to win $1,000. All y'all put in $200 apiece.
I mean, I feel like we tried a lot of tricks and we tried a lot of stuff. I don't know that like
that money will work. That money gonna work.
Scavenger hunt necessarily going to do it. You know, it might have done something.
It's not a bad idea.
To deeper the experience, like exactly what was going to happen at the live show that makes it different from any other show, you know?
What was going to make it different?
Yeah.
Well, first off, we hadn't done one in 3.5 years or something like that. And then also, in addition to that, you know, okay, at first, when you had the first flyer, and it was kind of like just me, you, Spody, Munchie, and that wasn't really like moving the needle in terms of ticket sales. That made sense to me because it's like, okay, it's four dudes. It's not like the best looking flyer or whatever. But then once we added Unk, added Hater World, and then added the 4Extra element, and still it wasn't moving, that really was what made me feel like, you know what? Okay, like
I'm surprised 4Extra at least would have.
You know, when you think that us like coming back together, which by the way, for the people out there, we are going to be doing a podcast together in the near future. Probably start dropping next week, but yeah, that definitely stood out to me. I was like, wow, like the interest just isn't really there, and especially like, you know, because like at first when it's just us four on the flyer, I'm thinking, oh, we're not selling tickets, it's us. But then I add all this other shit, and that didn't work. And I'm kind of like, oh, okay. I feel like at that point, you can't really like put it entirely on us. You got to be like, I guess the fans just don't really want to do.
I think nobody cares at this point, right? I think people are so caught up in they self and in this YouTube world, like there's somebody that matters and nobody cares outside of this. Like nobody really cares, like other than some young geeks or a certain demographic, right? It's just different, bro. It's a different, like, yeah, we famous in this bubble. outside the bubble, we nobodies, man. Don't nobody care, man. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you are wildly famous in some people's eyes. I mean, you made enough headlines, Adam, to where I don't understand how you can't sell tickets alone on your own. That's what's crazy to me.
Do this unless it's some earth-shattering in general.
I do think that J Hood brought up an interesting question. I think a lot of people who may be interested in it were still kind of confused by it. Like, what exactly is going on here? What does a live podcast experience entail?
But I do feel like podcasting has been like very popular for like 10 years, 8 years, whatever. And we've done, you know, like you can hop on YouTube and see videos of us doing a lot of different live podcasts, as well as the fact that like really like almost like every other popular podcast has done a live podcast. That it's like, I don't think it's that confusing to people at this point what it might be like. Now, it is understandable that they might have gone to one or thought about going to one and didn't enjoy the experience, because for sure that's the case with me. I've been to some live podcasts where I was like, I'm never going to see that person do another live podcast. I like them. I like their content. I'll continue to watch the content, but I'm not going to ever probably go to that again, you know? So I don't know. I feel like that's probably part of it, is that people have gone to a couple live podcasts and just didn't really like the experience enough to do it again.
It's kind of like, really, it's like a meet and greet on steroids for real. Like the thing, there's not too much that's going to be said on stage that hits you the way these conversations do.
I'm thinking it's like comments in real life, like
Kind of, yeah, low key.
like the
The
viewers
YouTube comments, yeah.
like the viewers, they just speaking their mind right then and there.
But you remember the first one that we did?
Well,
That was like the best vibe in that room. Like, it was so dope to have the whole fan base there. And then after that, we did live shows in New York and Boston that also sold out. That did really, really good. So the fact that there could be that much less momentum in terms of seeing a live podcast, it was pretty shocking to me how much that the market has changed.
But then keep in mind also, that was like, there's 8 faces on that flyer. Everyone had
No, but in Boston and New York, it was just me, AD House Phone.
for sure.
And that, you know, with no opener. I mean, that kind of, you know, that's not like what we were offering this time was like so much more value in terms of like seeing different people and shit, you know?
But that's also like the first No Jumper appearance damn near on the East Coast ever. Like, those people have been waiting since the XXX interview to.
Yeah.
We can throw a great live show, Adam.
Yeah.
For shit show.
I for show,
What do you
and
think we
it'll
could have
sell
done
out.
differently?
I say it's I don't know, a little few things. All right, so maybe at the live show, was that supposed to be when Doughboy and Spody was supposed to?
Nah, it was a different event, but
You gotta put that together.
yeah.
Like, put that together so the viewers, they get to see that in real life, in real time. And then I don't know, maybe just I never been to a live show, like, you know.
There's a lot of cool stuff we could. I mean,
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but it's not happening. So we gonna end that right there. It's not happening at all. It's over with. He was forced to cancel the show, man. He's not feeling great about it. He seems sad and down and depressed about it. Unfortunately, it's just like, to me, it just comes down to the business, to marketing, to putting your money where your mouth is. You can't just go off your brand. You can if it stands that strong, but it just seems like it's not translating from the internet to real life ticket sales. So with that being said, he needs to find somebody to help promote, guerrilla market, to get in these streets, to push the narrative. Everybody doesn't pay attention to this stuff. You know, they may know about it, they see clips, but they don't subscribe, they don't follow. Even though you have 5 million subscribers, you couldn't translate that to ticket sales. Something is wrong. Adam, you're the face. Why you couldn't sell 100 tickets on your own? It's not making sense, y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments, man, what y'all think, man. Did they mess this up, man? Could they have came out better, came out on top? You know what I'm saying? You know, why back on Fig Minute, why can they do live shows, but y'all can't? You know, what's the real issue here? Y'all let me know down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe to this channel. If you haven't already, become a member. Turn on your notifications. Tap that bell. Smash that like button. Follow Smut Free TV on Instagram and TikTok. Hop in them comments. Why? Because every comment counts. And you know we got the hottest content in these internet streets. No cap. Stay tuned for more Rocstar Reacts right here on Smut Free TV. Let's go.